Welcome to my garden side quest. Today I am going to be planting up all of these beautiful pepper plants to bigger 4-inch containers. So this is what the container looks like. I am using Members Mark professional quality potting mix to plant up these plants. So the first step is going to be to fill many of these containers with soil, and then I will put plants into them. I try not to fill the pots all the way up to leave enough room for the dirt that's going to be transplanted with the plant. So now I'm just going to fill a whole bunch of these up.
One hour later.
Now that I have all the dirt in pots, I have filled 76 pots with dirt. These pots are 4 inches tall and they are sold on Amazon in 50 packs, I believe, 50 and 100 packs. I bought them last year. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some pepper plants and pot them up into these pots. So if you look at these cells, you would think, oh, you don't need all of these pots, but actually you do, because this holds 72 seeds if you plant 1 seed per cell. I typically plant 2 seeds per cell just to ensure germination. So for today, what I'm going to start off by doing is just transplanting the pepper plants that have already grown their second set of leaves. The ones that haven't grown their second set of leaves yet, I'm just gonna leave probably for another week. Okay, let's see how this goes. So what I do, since the soil in here is very loosely packed and I don't fill it all the way up to the top, I just use my fingers and dig a little hole, and then I stick the little pepper plant in here and I adjust the tag to the back. Now, these pepper plants were just watered this morning, so the soil that they're sitting in is very wet. However, the soil in these containers is not wet at all. I just use dry soil. So we're putting very wet, packed soil inside of this. And I'll make a video later on how I bottom water these to keep them moist. So this cell grew 2 of the mulatto poblano peppers. So what I'm going to do is very carefully, this would probably be better done without gloves. I'm going to very carefully separate them. And this is easy to do because the soil is so wet. There we go. So this little guy is going to go in here. And this little guy is going to go in this pot. Now, here is my challenge. I only made 1 label for that cell because I was unsure if both seeds were going to germinate. So now when I transfer them over to my big tray here, I want to put them right next to each other so that I remember when I'm all done with this and I've washed all the dirt off my hands, I need to make additional labels. and I need to have a reference to what label to put on the plant with no label. So I stick them next to each other over here. So I know that this little one in the middle that's not labeled is Poblano, so I'm gonna have to label him. And the ones on either side of him are also Poblano. So that kind of helps me remember. Otherwise, my friends and family end up with some mystery peppers when I'm ready to give them away because I don't remember what they are. We're going to do the same thing here for this tam jalapeno. Just very carefully separate them out. My hot pepper plants had amazing germination. So nearly every single one of these cells has 2 plants in it. Some of you might be wondering if all of these transplants are going to be successful. And the answer to that is no. So even though I'm being careful when I transplant them, some of these plants are going to die. And it is hard for me as a gardener who started them from seeds to kind of let them go. Last year I did a really good job of, if I saw that a plant was dying, I just immediately threw it away. And my husband was like, "Oh, why are you throwing that away? You can save it." But with the amount of seeds that I start, it's not really worth my time and investment to kind of nurture seedlings that are failing. So in about a week, we'll see if any of these are looking like they're failing. And if they are, then I just throw them away, because I have so many of them that throwing away a few of them isn't really that big of a deal. This Goliath hot jalapeno actually has 3 plants. So let's see if we could successfully separate these guys out. Unlike tomatoes, there's really no benefit of taking the stem of a pepper plant and planting it deep in the soil, other than to help anchor it a little bit. Tomato plants, when you plant the stem underground, they grow roots from the stem and kind of spread out. That is not the case with pepper plants. So pepper plants, I normally just plant them deep enough to help them stand completely upright without bending, and leave it at that. This one also has 3, but the one in the middle's tiny. Not sure if he's worth trying to save. Good thing Michael's not in here. All right, so I'm just going to continue this process, planting up all of my hot pepper seeds that have their second set of leaves. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments.